Hi, my name is Mark Polton. I'm a real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. I'm what you would call a no frills real estate investor. If you're looking for somebody who's got a big fancy sports car in the background, or is trying to sell you a $19.95 a month package to their subscription to their newsletter, I'm not that guy. Check out a different channel. I want to talk to you about why it's important to get your family, especially your kids, involved in your business as quickly and as early as possible. Um, I remember listening to Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Radio. Comes on, I think, Sundays. It could have been Saturdays here in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can catch him on a podcast, Rich Dad Radio podcast. So I just catch him there rather than having to deal with commercials and things like that. And I remember one of the episodes, he was like, "This episode is what the rich tell their kids." And I remember hearing things that I had never heard. I remember hearing things in contradiction to what my parents had told me. I had remember hearing things that was contradictory to, what you learned in school, college, what financial advisors and stuff like that tell you. And the one that really caught me was rich people don't have a 401k. And I was like, okay, never heard this before. I'm open to it. And he went on to talk about how the 401k was, a terrible instrument for the 401k recipient. Fantastic instrument for Wall Street. And it kind of led me down to learn a little more about to gain financial intelligence and stuff like that. And Robert is not, he's a no holds barred kind of guy. He's not going to sit there and make you feel good. He'll call you an idiot. And I'm sure that compared to him, I still am an idiot. But it's very insightful and very thankful that he did, that he puts out Rich Dad Radio, which is his educational arm of the Rich Dad Company. So what my parents taught me, and probably your parents taught you, was go to, get good grades in high school, go to college, get a good job, you know, invest in your 401k, get an IRA, and invest in a diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, yada, yada, yada. And that might have worked prior to 1971 when Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard. When my parents were growing up, their parents for sure could, hold a normal job, save 10, 15% of their income, and live and retire on that, without too much of a problem. They wouldn't be rich, but you could live off of savings. Can't do that anymore. The dollar has devalued 90% since 1971 when it was taken off the gold standard, and that's due to inflation. So you don't. My children do not get any education at all when it comes to finances. They don't. They don't know anything. They're not taught anything. And if it's not for what I teach them and I try to drill into them, they probably would never get a financial education of any sorts, whether good or bad. The financial education they would probably get is whenever they start working for a company. There'll be some training videos on how to invest in your 401k and stuff like that. The sun's pretty bright today. So, you know, I drill into my children, and my oldest is probably lost on that one, but maybe the younger ones were not. You know, go to high school, get good grades. If you want to go to college, if you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, dentist, or something like that, you have to go to college. You don't have a choice. If you get a full ride scholarship or something like that, you're going to get, you don't have you might as well go. It's not really costing anything. But I encourage them to just go out and start working. That 4 years of experience in the real world where they could actually take college classes on night or something like that, is invaluable. There's no compression algorithm for experience. I have another video on that. So, why lose those 4 years of work experience and, gaining intelligence, wisdom? And hopefully, if they're following it right and I do my job, maybe one, maybe two, maybe more will follow in our footsteps. And I try to tell them, all you got to do is get passive income to meet your basic needs at 18, 19, 20. That shouldn't be more than a couple grand a month, tops. You could probably do 1,500 or less, which is easily 3 homes. And then you're financially free for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean you're going to stop. That just means that uh, you don't, you don't have to go to work. And who the hell wants to go to work anyways, right? So I bring my son out. He's really the only one that's pseudo interested in the business. And I'm going to make, he and I work out, and, we'll head out to the homes and we'll do some work on them. And, it's kind of dad son time, but he's also going to learn how to do a trade of sorts. It's not going to be a grade. I'm not going to teach him, how to be an excellent carpenter or anything, but, I can teach him the basics on how to rehab a house, how to do plumbing and stuff like that. And at 11, he's not the most interested in it. He's not the least interested in it, but he's at least interested in coming out. So hopefully we can pass on some knowledge to him. I would love to be able to give him knowledge, and one of the reasons I do these videos is, should something ever happen to me, or uh, they decide that they want to learn what Dad knows, but don't want to actually listen to Dad. Here's some videos for him. So, anyways, in conclusion, it's really important that you tell your kids why you're doing what you're doing, how you're doing what you're doing, and getting them involved. You know, the more that they can see how to run a business, the more that they can see to be entrepreneurial, and the more they can see, the benefits of it, the better off they'll be. On the flip side, one of our oldest daughters thinks that money grows on trees and that everybody gets a new iPhone every year and stuff like that. She does like to work, and she knows that, but she thinks mom and dad should be buying her an iPhone, every year or two, the latest one, not like an older one, and that that's a problem. Anyways, I hope you live the "you won't stop me" lifestyle, because you're not going to stop me. Nothing will stop me from reaching financial freedom. It can all be ripped away, and I'll get it right back. The intelligence and the wisdom and the knowledge that I have cannot be taken away from me. So no matter what happens to me, I'm going to be able to get it all back. So I'm not really worried about it. I wish you success.